If you've got a blue tint on your Vizio TV, then there's a few possible causes which we're going to cover in this video along with the fixes for them. So the main causes of the blue tint can either be picture settings or it can be LED problems. If you've got a really strong blue tint, then it's almost certainly LED issues, which are fixable at home. If it's just a minor blue tint, then you can generally change the picture settings and the color temperature to get rid of it. If the blue tint has started after a couple of years and has slowly got worse, then again that's almost certainly LED problems. And if you're seeing the blue tint in just one area of your TV, then again that's most likely an LED issue. Because we don't want to have to replace the LEDs if we don't need to, it's a good idea just to first of all just try power cycling your TV in case it's a software issue causing your problem. So unplug your TV, hold down the physical power button on the TV itself for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power from the capacitors. Then you leave your TV unplugged for at least 30 minutes and then plug it back in and switch it back on again. You should also just take out any HDMI connections and just make sure that it's not a poorly seated cable that's causing the blue tint, so that you only have the power cable going into your TV, and then see if the blue tint is still there. You can also bring up the on-screen menu on your TV and see if the blue tint is covering that. If it is, then go into the color settings menu, so press settings on your remote and go to the picture screen, and then switch off auto brightness control and try reducing the backlight and brightness settings, because if it is a backlight issue, which it almost certainly is, then just reducing the backlight brightness can often help recover the colors. Just it might not work forever, but it will probably help just for a short-term fix. You can also try adjusting the tint in the menu if the blue tint isn't that bad. And if you need to, you can go to the More Picture sub-menu and change the color temperature to be something warmer. And there's also the color calibration settings, which can be useful to try and remove any minor blue tint on the screen. If this hasn't helped, or if it's a really strong blue tint that you're seeing, then it's almost certainly a backlight issue. So what happens with the backlights is that after 2 or 3 years, the phosphor yellow coating that covers the LED can burn out just from heat. And because most LEDs use blue light LEDs as their base, and they go through this phosphor yellow coating to give out a white light, once the phosphor coating is burnt off, you just have the blue light from the LED shining through, and then that can give the blue tint on your screen. So if only a few LEDs have failed, have had their coating fail, then you'll get the blue tint in just a few areas of your TV. If you've got a very strong blue tint across the screen, then it's likely that all of the LEDs have started to go. And you would expect that all of the LEDs would start to go at the same kind of time. And it's usually within a few years after buying the TV. This also depends on how hot you're running the backlight. So if you've got the backlight brightness at 100% the whole time, then that causes obviously greater temperature from the LEDs, and that will burn off the phosphor coating quicker. So in future, if you just turn the backlight down from the factory set level, which is usually very high, then that can prolong the life of the LEDs in future. But in this case, if you've found that the phosphor has burnt off the LEDs, and so you've just got blue light shining through, then you need to replace the LEDs themselves. So to check whether this is the LEDs itself or not, you have to disassemble the TV and actually have a look at them to see if they're creating blue light or if they're creating white light. It's very simple to do yourself, but it will take a bit of time. It's important that you make sure that all power is drained from your TV before you take it apart. So remove the plug from the wall socket, hold down the power button for 10 or 15 seconds, and then just leave it for 30 minutes or so, just to make sure all the power has drained from the capacitors, because you don't want to get an electric shock when you open the TV. I've linked some other videos on how to replace the LEDs, but it should be pretty obvious once you've got your TV open, and you can try a backlight tester. But once you've got your TV open, you can then get a couple of just standard AA batteries or the 9-volt batteries and make a little simple circuit, and just with a couple of pieces of wire, and just try each LED in turn, and you should be able to provide enough power just to power each LED in turn using the battery. And then that will just let you check whether the LEDs are giving off blue light or whether they're giving off white light. And if the light is blue, then they need to be replaced. And you can buy new replacement LED strips off eBay. They're very cheap. Just put in your TV model number, but they tend to be pretty common and pretty standard across all TV types. And then you can just simply replace the backlights, and your TV will then be working as normal with no blue tint, and that will probably cost you about $30 for a new set of backlights. And I've linked some videos below on how to replace the backlights, but I mean, it's a very simple process and it shouldn't take you too long at all to do. There's also a linked article below which will give you some more information on how to fix the blue tint.